Hey! Welcome back, everybody. I'm a Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ 1.14 Experimental. And we did just recently get a patch today. And this is going to let you know what's coming for DayZ 1.14. Again, that's the developer internal version, because I know PlayStation, you guys have a slightly different version number. But just know that's the new update that's got the toxic or radiation zones. I believe it's the contaminated zones, are what they're officially calling it. But yeah, just going over some of the patch notes of the new stuff that's come in as it's getting balanced and polished. And then will be soon enough that it's out for all versions, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So we're going to go over some of those notes now. I'm also going to try to avoid getting capped, as I am on the Xbox version. I'm on the Xbox Series X, actually. Let me just go ahead and show you. The current version we are rolling with right now is 1.14154.166. And again, to confirm that I am on the Xbox, you can check it out there. And I am on an official server. It's kind of scary. I've got a lot of gear, and I am double carrying. It wouldn't be Jade Monkey unless I was double carrying, now would it? Okay, I'm going to attempt to read these patch notes as we wander through the woods here. So fingers crossed, I hope we don't get capped. Oh, by the way, real quick before I forget, we have been trying to stream this and play this, although there were some instability issues. Again, it's experimental or a testing or a staging branch. Whatever you want to call it, it sits here and it iterates over time, and then once it's stable and polished, it then goes to live branch. So we did try to play this. The servers were pretty goofy, which is cheeseburger, which is to be expected. So we are hoping that we can play it now. It looks like they're a bit more stable, fingers crossed, so be on the lookout for a live stream is what I'm saying. And we'll let you know how good or bad it is. Okay, so here are the patch notes. I am also going to try to walk here, so bear with me. Okay. The player, okay, so it says right here, this is released 9/9/2021. The player, it says fixed. The player is unable to close the fireplace inventory after opening it with something inside. Server-side performance issues related to the triggers, which hopefully fixes all that crashing that was occurring. An issue with triggers that would prevent the player from registering as leaving when teleporting far away from the current position. Was that the rubber banding? I wonder. Splitting an item could cause a game crash. That's that's a big deal. Removing the last attachment from a fireplace would delete said item. That's a big one. Quilted jacket was sometimes not visible in the inventory vicinity. Insulation level of the combat gas mask was not visible. The snare trap was teleported on the roof after being placed inside of buildings. Okay. Exterior fireplace could not be placed using the place mode. Here's stuff around the contaminated or toxic zones. POX antidote and Epi auto-injector could fall through the terrain when thrown. The stealth attack would usually ruin the target's vest. Post-processing effect could not be overridden for a contaminated area. Smart VFX. Bandages were usually not disinfected on fresh spawn characters. Again, this game's always trying to kill you, but that's a bit much for a fresh spawn, so that's good that that's fixed. Combining matches would leave an empty box on the ground. Okay, so they changed. Increased the armor of the bear. Didn't know the bear had armor. The tripwire could only be crafted using a metal wire. Breath vapor effect is now only visible on gas masks. Lowered the volume of stealth attacks. We have increased brightness of the flare gun light. Dynamic contaminated area flare lights stays for a longer time. Lowered the audible range. By the way, this is really hard to do while I'm reading and trying to stay alive on an official server. Dynamic contaminated area flare stays for a longer time. Lowered the audible range of the dynamic contaminated area artillery fire. Dynamic contaminated area scales their particles down with the lower lifetime. That's a weird sentence. Breath effect visibly is now tied to the gas mask filter quality. That's cool, so we got a visual effect. Alright, so we have some central economy. I'm going to try to, whoopsie, I'm going to try to just walk up here and not get domed. Okay, added chance to find a POX antidote on yellow NBC infected. Village house 2W01 not spawning any loot on Livonia. Again, that's not something we can test. We only have access to Chernarus here on the Xbox as of right now. Tweaked increased a chance to find POX antidote on gray NBC infected. So the gas mask hazmat dudes zombies are going to be the ones that have more stuff. Tweak the contaminated areas now spawn less. I'm sorry, tweak dynamic contaminated areas. My goodness, I just walked into a tree. Contaminated areas now spawn less NBC infected. Tweaked dynamic contaminated areas now spawn yellow NBC infected. And tweaked slightly increase the amount of tier 1 food. And tweaked slightly decrease the number of active dynamic contaminated areas. Wow, now brown cow. Like, that's a lot of stuff. Known issues, this one's persisted. Ambient sounds of contaminated areas might follow the player after leaving the area. That's been fairly consistent. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Again, slowly working through our way to polish for 1.14, or I should say 1.14. And we don't really know the timing for this. Again, if this becomes more stable, it's going to get closer and closer, so we'll have a better idea then. And then they might even announce it, so we'll have to wait and see. And again, this does have to pass certification for both PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. PC's a bit faster, but I know PlayStation, Xbox have a certification process, and that's a good thing for us. So hang tight. It looks like those 1.14 changes are coming for everybody on the live branch. Hang tight, PlayStation players. I know it can be frustrating not being able to play the new stuff, but you know, you can always come by and check us out on the live stream. We will be doing this over on the Xbox, so whatever changes are coming for us are coming for you, as they are virtually the same thing, or at least our versions are. So there's just subtle differences. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the live stream next video. Be sure to leave a like if you found this useful and helpful. And if you're not already subscribed, you know, think this is something you would like to watch, consider dropping that subscribe and turning on those notifications to all. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Let's see if we can rip a shot. Let's get dangerous. Ay! Ooh, that carries. All right, I'm putting that back in and we're running. That's what we're doing. We're out of here. Tied in a bush.